Microphone is coming.
Hello, I'm Ivy with S&P Global Commodity Insights. So my question is also about Article 6. So what exactly does it mean by having that conclusion yesterday? How far we still are, or how long will it take for the Article 6.4 credits to be delivered to the market? And what are the remaining agendas to be done? Thank you.
Yeah, I would answer to this question in a general terms. What does it mean for whole negotiation process? But for the technical details, I will ask Maria and Martin to support me. So it was yesterday we adopted a standards that has been endorsed by the supervisory body of mechanism. And that was very important because that was a long-standing issue, 10 years of hard work, and there have been several attempts to get it adopted, but this year finally we got it done. Also important for the process-wise, for the negotiation process, we had a very good start. We had a very important step on the first day that will definitely set the mood in the negotiating rooms and create a positive atmosphere that will inspire everyone to continue the negotiations in a constructive way. But again, for the technical details, Maria, by the way, is the chair of the Article 6.4 supervisory body, and Martin is the vice chair. So please, Maria.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your question. So what does this mean and why is it important? I think everyone in this room might be well aware that the supervisory body has put forward recommendations based on a mandate that came from CMA, specifically on methodologies related to this mechanism, as well as recommendations that touch on activities involving removals. And so for several years now, the supervisory body has attempted to put forward guidance that would really shape the way these methodologies are developed and applied within this mechanism. And parties have told us that there needs to be more done. And so we went back and we did the more. And the adoption that happened yesterday truly means that we, as a supervisory body, can now begin the work of developing further standards and guidance and elaborating on our way forward in a way that enables all of the tools to come into play. That could be as soon as next year. In fact, many CDM projects have begun transitioning to the 6.4 mechanism, and next year in 2025, they are required to switch from the CDM methodologies to the 6.4 methodologies. And the adoption of those standards yesterday allows us to continue the work that enables them to do so. And that means hopefully we could be seeing the first issuance of 6.4 credits very soon.
Thank you. So a final question, a quick one, please. The gentleman in the third row here.
Thanks so much. Sibi Arasu from the Associated Press. My question is to Maria Al-Jishi. There's been concerns that due process has not been followed while Article 6.4 was passed through yesterday. So can you address those concerns, especially with regards to, say, issues like human rights of people who have been asked to resettle for carbon credit-related work? Maybe that is not being addressed enough, is some concerns that observers are raising. Can you address these concerns?
Thank you very much. So with regard to concerns about due process, I will have to say that we are a UN body governed by the Conference of the Parties, serving as the meeting of the parties to the Paris Agreement. We absolutely must follow due process at all times. And the CMA is free to give the supervisory body any guidance it wishes to. And we are more than happy to receive that guidance and elaborate on it. And when it comes to the concerns that have been expressed, I would like to point you to the appeals and grievance procedure that was adopted this year alongside the two standard documents, because we viewed it as a package of deliverables instead of just the 2 documents that were mandated by CMA. And I'd also like to point you to the Sustainable Development Tool, which has certain requirements specific to human rights, but also there are requirements within the design phase of the project itself to ensure that stakeholders remain part of the process as key stakeholders, and that they are consulted as we move forward. And then there are avenues and channels through the appeals and grievance procedure in order for us to know when all of our rules and regulations are not being upheld, because there is no system that's perfect, but we're trying to get as close as we possibly can. Do you want to add anything, fellow Vice Chair?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm just conscious we're before the press. It's quite difficult to communicate what we're doing, and sometimes it's easier to report on process than it is on substance. I just want to say that we're significantly different from what's come before, and a vast improvement on what's come before, and perhaps a challenge to standards out there. We've cut crediting levels so that they're sharing between countries. We've got no lock-in rules. We've got rules on reversals. All of these things are technical, but they are significant environmental safeguards. And with regard to the human rights, we've been questioned as to whether there will be safeguards on human rights. It's in the SD tool. It does require third-party verification of measures to prevent breaches of international and national requirements on human rights, also on Indigenous people. And I just urge people to look beyond the headlines in a way, and we'd like to create some headlines around the substantial improvement in standards that we've done. Thanks.
And if I may just very quickly add, because you mentioned the third-party verification, in the process of developing the Sustainable Development Tool, we actually put it out to existing DOEs to ask if the things that we were putting within the tool are actually elements that they could verify. And we've gotten feedback from them, because we wanted to make sure that this was not just a box that the project developer could tick, but in fact it could be something that would be verified by a third-party entity. So just wanted to add that really quickly. Thank you.
Thank you very much for today. Let me just give you a few numbers at the end about the registration. So from today, we have 33,651 party representatives, 13,140 observers, 3,594 media, which is a total, including host country guests, of 52,894 registered participants. Also an announcement: from Thursday onwards, we have daily press briefings at 1:15 from the COP presidency, and I'm looking very much forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much. Chok Sagul. Thank you.